Hello, Mark. The first news I'm going to read this week is in healthcare experiment, patients pay more for bad medicine. When Tanner Martin, 17, developed excru- excruciating back pain last year, he was sure he needed an X-ray to find out what was wrong. So was his mother, who worried that the pain might indicate a serious injury that could cause permanent disability. But Connie Martin was no ordinary parent. As chief executive officer of San Luis Valley Regional Medical Center in Alamosa, Colorado, she is at the center of an experiment, now a value-based insurance that could transform American healthcare. One of the central features of a value-based system is a financial stake. If patients insist on medical procedures that science shows to be ineffective or unnecessary, they'll have to pay for all or most of the cost. In Tanner's case, when he and his mother went to the medical center, they were invited to watch a short video first. The best approach to back pain like Tanner's, it explained, is stretching, strength building, and physical therapy, X-rays and MRIs, according to rigorous studies, are unlikely to make a difference. If they insisted on the X-ray, they would have to pay $300 on top of the basic cost. They passed on the imaging, knowing they could change their minds if Tanner's condition worsened. After 3 weeks of therapy, his back was as good as new. My assumption was that a back injury was always severe, needing intervention. Martin said, I was very misinformed about the need for imaging. The additional cost when patients choose procedures that research shows are unlikely to help their condition is a key element of San Luis Valley's 2-year experiment in value-based insurance. The premise of which is that a mix of financial carrots and sticks can steer patients toward medical service that will help them and away from ineffective or unnecessary ones. Healthcare policy wonks have been studying value-based insurance for decades. For some consumer groups, the concept raises concerns over whether it will deter people from treatment when certain procedures are needed. But the idea has gained momentum since the passage of President Barack Obama's health care reforms law, which includes provisions to control health care spending that now tops $2.7 trillion a year in the United States. About one-third of that is attributed to wasteful or ineffective care. Among the provisions is one that allows state medical programs to adopt value-based science. Us too, in Michigan and South Carolina, have at least one private insurance plan sold in Obamacare marketplace has done so as well. In addition, Obama's Affordable Care Act encourages doctors and hospitals to form Accountable Care Organizations (ACOs), which are paid for under the Medicare program for older Americans if they control costs while also providing quality care. Some 4 million Medicare enrollees are now in one of the nation's nearly 500 ACOs, and private insurance plans are adopting them as well. Medicare now penalizes hospitals if a patient is readmitted for the same condition within 30 days. Advocates of value-based insurance say that while focusing on the supply side, hospitals and doctors is a good start. Healthcare spending reforms must also involve the demand side patients. "I believe that supply-side only programs will be the answer to all our problems is crazy," said Dr. Mark Frederick, director of the University of Michigan's Center for Value-Based Insurance Design and professor of internal medicine. For one thing, they say patients who know they're on the hook for care that won't benefit them are less likely to badger their providers. If someone goes to the doctor and really wants antibiotics for a collar or an MRI for back pain, it can take more time to talk him out of it than to order it, said Dr. David Downs, medical director of Engaged Public, the Denver research and consulting firm that designed the St. Louis Valley study. Starting in 2014, Engaged Public will scrutinize the 2 years of data from St. Louis Valley to see what effects the novel plan had on health care costs and outcomes. The success of value-based insurance design initiatives is far from assured and has some worried over the extent to which procedures would be considered off-limits. "We have reservations about financial obstacles that might keep patients from getting care they need," said Joyce Duval, Senior Healthcare Reform Director at AARP, the research and lobbying group formerly known as the American Association of Retired Persons. AARP is a partner in Choosing Wisely, a program in which medical specialty groups identify procedures, more than 200 so far, that do not benefit patients according to rigorous scientific advice. The list is a benchmark for discouraged producers in a value-based insurance plans. "We don't want people getting medical procedures they don't need," Duval said, "but we don't see choosing wisely as a vehicle for benefit design. Many of the items on the list are equivocal and not never procedures. Proponents say they do not impose financial incentives when the benefits of a procedure are subject to debate, as is the case with screen mammograms, and doctors can use their judgment on when a procedure makes sense, while CT imaging for an uncomplicated headache is not necessary, said the American College of Radiology. It can be used for patients with particular medical histories. Value-based insurance can also pose issues of perceived fairness. Employers have hesitated to introduce the program for fear the employees will be upset if medical services they think they need come with additional costs, but their colleagues do not, said Downs, as when an X-ray for broken leg is covered by one for back pain is not. An unwelcome surprise. The very idea that some diagnostic tests and treatments might not help patients come as a shock to many Americans. A choosing wisely message is difficult to convey to the many patients who think that when it comes to medical care, newer is better and more is better, said Doctor Joe Jeans of Brown University's Airport Medical School. So when patients have more skin in the game, in terms of cost, they're more likely to ask, do I really need this? St. Louis Valley Health is self-insured, and an experiment involves only its 725 covered employees and dependents. The experiment puts medical devices in green and red buckets. Green is for procedures that should be encouraged because they are cheap and effective, like vaccines. Red is for expensive ones that research shows are usually unnecessary, ineffective, or even harmful. They include endoscopy for heartburn, surgery for enlarged prostate, and the imaging tests that Connie Martin some declined. Engaged public President Chris Adams has been turned down numerous times by insurers and employers who said consumers would not understand value-based designs with financial distinctive. It's hard educating people that they are unneeded. Um, Ineffective medical procedures, he said. In 2003, Adams tried to interest a small Colorado insurance company in offering policies that use financial carrots and sticks to steer patients to high-value care. They said, "You can explain this to consumers." He recalled, "A health care policy wonk would love it, but consumers won't understand. The San Luis Valley experiment, which runs through the end of 2013, may indicate whether the idea's time has come. 2 years ago, Lee Oswald Lee Sewell was taking a fistful of pills every day. Antidepressants, medication for sleep, a penny drugs for chronic pain, but which the decision as that go with the Red Bucket program. She learned about other options, eating a healthier diet and exercising more helped her sleep better, which lifted her depression. After 20 years as a nurse, I thought I knew everything, said Elsbeth Leisure, but obviously I don't. She tapered off the meds, which have side effects, is feeling better and is incurring lower medical costs. Obamacare as catalyst. As additional provisions of Obamacare take hold starting in 2014, more patients are likely to have values-based plans, expert says. Under the 2010 law, an employer-based insurance must cover at least 60% of medical costs. As a result, high deductible policies, which have become very popular with employers because they require families to pay 5-figure medical bills before insurance pays a penny, may well fall short, said analyst Sam Glick of management consultants Oliver Young. Women, part of Marsh McLennan. Employers can't speak shifting costs, or they won't have a qualified health plan, he said, and that may push more to try value-based insurance. Once appeal to employers, value-based insurance design can be a scalpel, not a sledgehammer like high-deductible policies. With the latter, said Mike Thompson, a benefits expert at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Employees use fewer medical services, but many of these services are necessary. Value-based insurance design can get the incentives right. Obamacare also gives states more room to experiment with medical that join federal-state health care programs for the poor. Over the summer, an administration issued a final rule allowing states to inco- inco- in- incorporate significantly more financial carrots and sticks in their medical plans, and they can require patients to shoulder the co- highest copays for pro- pros- procedures on the Choosing Wisely list, said Mitchell Fendrick. Our goal, he said, is enrolling every American in value-based insurance. Reporting by Sharon Begley. Editing by Michaela Gershberg and Douglas Royalty. Okay, and my next article is Lawyer accused Harvard student was under pressure. A Harvard student accused of making a bomb threat to get out of a final exam was under a great deal of pressure and seems remorseful, his lawyer said Wednesday, after his client was free on bail. Although Kim, 20, was released on £100,000 into the custody of his sister, who lives in Massachusetts, and an uncle from North Carolina. Attorneys did not say where he will stay. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston alleges Kim sent hoax emails Monday saying shrapnel bombs would go off soon in 2 of 4 buildings on Harvard's Cambridge, Mass. campus. The emails came minutes before he was to take final exam in one of the buildings. The buildings were shut down for hours before investigators determined there were no explosives. Federal Public Defender Lane Gold says Kim was dealing with finals and that 3rd anniversary of his father's death, which is this month. It's finals time at Harvard, Gold said. In one way, we're looking at the post-9/11 equivalent of pulling a fire alarm. Certainly, I'm not saying the government response was unjustified, but it's important to keep in mind we're dealing with a 20-year-old man who was under a great deal of pressure. Kim, wearing a gray t-shirt and Harvard sweatpants, appeared somber as he stood before the judge. Under the condition of his release, he cannot enter Harvard's campus without prior approval of both the school and the federal court. Harvard said it was saddened by elections but would have no further comment on the investigation. Alexander Ricci, a junior from Alexandria, VA, was about to take his Politics of American Education final in Mercer Hall when alarms went off and he had to leave. He recognized Kim from the class but did not know him personally. He said Wednesday he was not surprised to hear that authorities believe a student is responsible for the hoax. Harvard is just like every other school, where students are just as stressed and caught up with their work. He said, at Harvard especially, people are scared to fail or do poorly, even at B. It just kind of reflects just how high stress it is here. If it's true that a student sent a bomb threat, to prevent himself from taking a final. I think it's sad that somebody would have to go to the length. Authorities said Kim told them he emailed the bomb threats about a half hour before he was scheduled to take a final in Merson Hall. He said he was there at 9 a.m. when he heard the alarm sound and knew his plan had worked. According to an FBI affidavit on Saturday night, Kim sent an email over his storm listserv, the Harvard Crimson reported. I was wondering if anyone had taken Gov 11368, The Politics of American Education, Paul Peterson, in the past. Kim wrote in the email, I have several quick questions about the course. Kim became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 5th grade and renounced his South Korean citizenship. Gold said Kim attended high school in Mukilteo, Wash, a cached version of his LinkedIn profile, which has been taken down, indicates that he did several internships in South Korea. When he was in high school, he volunteered at a monastery in Nepal. According to a testimonial he wrote on the volunteer organization's website. Gold said Kim's mother lived in South Korea. According to the complaint, Kim sent emails to Harvard police, to university officials, and the president of the Harvard Crimson newspaper, saying bombs had been placed around campus. An FBI affidavit says Harvard determined Kim had accessed Tor, a free product that assigns temporary anonymous Internet Protocol address using the university's wireless network. The maximum penalties for a bomb hoax are 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine, prosecutors said. Okay. And my next article is Woman gives birth to baby boy on flight from Spain to Romania. A passenger went into labor during a Wizz Air flight from Valencia in Spain to Bucharest and gave birth to a boy inside the aircraft just after it landed in Romania capital, the airline said Wednesday. The woman requested assistance from the crew minutes before it was due to land on Tuesday at Bucharest Otopeni Airport. Romania's pushes the Eastern European budget airline said in a statement. During descent and while taxiing to the terminal, the passenger was assisted on the back row of the aircraft by a crew member and a doctor who was traveling on the same flight. It said, "Mother and newborn baby were met by the airport ambulance and taken to hospital. We are very proud of our crew who handled the situation with professionalism and care." The airline did not specify the passenger's nationality or age, but a spokeswoman said she was 9 months pregnant. While this mother and her newborn baby seem well, we urge all our pregnant mothers not to risk their well-being and not to conceal their pregnancy. The statement said, "Passengers must produce a certificate from a doctor if they are traveling after their 28th week of pregnancy, and cannot travel after their 34th week of pregnancy," the airline said. In August, a 39-year-old Moroccan woman won a Royal Air Maroc flight between Casablanca and the Italian city of Bologna, gave birth moments before the plane made an emergency landing at Barcelona's El Prat Airport. Okay, thank you for your listening. Bye bye.